أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واتل عليهم نبأ الذي آتيناه آياتنا فانسلخ منها فأتبعه الشيطان فكان من الغاوين. Last we had discussed the incident of Bal'am bin Ba'ura. We will just translate these verses of the Quran Sharif would pertain to him. Ya Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala instructs Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that recite upon them the incident of that person, Atenahu ayatina, whom we had given our verses. Fansalakha minha, he withdrew from it. Like a snake when it sheds its skin and it comes out of the skin. That is how Bal'am bin Ba'ura, he left the verses of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala and he had come out. فَأَتْبَعَهُ الشَّيْطَانُ فَكَانَ مِنَ الْغَاوِينَ. Shaitan pursued him and he was from amongst those people that were misguided. That is why a person can never be proud that I have the Ismi Azam, I have knowledge of Quran Sharif, Hadith Sharif, so I am somebody. A person must always remain humble. We don't know at which stage what can happen. Allah Ta'ala protect us. Always make dua to Allah Ta'ala. Allah keep us with Iman. Allah take us with Iman. Allah Ta'ala says, وَلَوْ شِئْنَا لَرَفَعْنَاهُ بِهَا. That if we wish, then we would have raised him through the ayat that we had given him. وَلَكِنَّهُ أَخْلَدَ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ وَاتَّبَعَ هَوَى. But he had clung to the earth and he followed his desires. When all that wealth came to him, he went behind the wealth of dunya and he left everything of deen. Allah Ta'ala says, فَمَثَلُهُ كَمَثَلِ الْكَلْبِ. His example is like the example of a dog. That a dog, he has been similarized to a dog because a dog has various qualities. One quality of the dog is that the dog always has greed in it. That's why a person that's always running behind dunya, he is referred to as the dog of dunya. In the hadith also, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, ad-dunya jifa wa talibuha kilab. That dunya is a carrion, is a corpse, and those that seek dunya, these are dogs. Also a dog, we find that no matter how much of food you give a dog is never satisfied with that. It is still sniffing around all the time, still looking for more food. So he has been similarized to a dog. The third quality of the dog is that if you take an entire corpse, a dead animal, and you place it before the dog, maybe 4 or 5 dogs can eat from there, but the dog will not want anyone else to share. The dog will want it for itself. No other dog must share with it. Another quality of the dog is that the dog is always sniffing around its private part. So it's worried about its desires. So Allah Ta'ala says that the example of Bal'am Ba'ura is like the example of dog. Allah Ta'ala had given him knowledge of deen. And how great is the knowledge of deen? Verses from the side of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. All that he left, and because of greed he ran for dunya. Allah Ta'ala says, in tahmil alayhi yalhath aw tatrukhu yalhath. That if you place a load upon a dog, the dog will pant and it will take out its tongue. Or if you leave the dog, then also the dog will pant and it will take out its tongue. In other words, the dog, in whichever condition it is always humiliated. So those that Allah gave them the knowledge of deen, they left the knowledge of deen and they ran for dunya. The example is that of a dog, they are totally humiliated all the time. ذَلِكَ مَثَلُ الْقَوْمِ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا. This is the example of that nation that deny our verses. فَقْصُصِ الْقَصَصَ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. Allah Ta'ala instructs Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that narrate these stories to them. Perhaps these people, they will contemplate the kuffar of Makkah. This will be a lesson to them. They will think of all these stories. They will bring iman upon Allah Ta'ala. سَاءَ مَثَلًا الْقَوْمُ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا وَأَنفُسَهُمْ كَانُوا يَظْلِمُونَ. Allah Ta'ala further says, evil is the example of that nation that deny our verses, that deny our ayat, and they oppress themselves. When you deny the verses of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, you go against the laws of Shariat and the commands of Allah, a person is only oppressing himself. He will suffer the consequence in dunya. He will suffer the consequence in akhirat. مَن يَهْدِ اللَّهُ فَهُوَ الْمُهْتَدِي. And that person whom Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala guides, that person will be rightly guided. وَمَن يُضْلِلْ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. And that person whom Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala misguides, then these people will be losers. In dunya also they will be losers, and in akhirat also they will be losers. We'll continue from here, inshallah.